Here.
Trustee Katsinas.
Here.
Trustee Milani.
Here.
Trustee Compass.
Here.
Trustee Reardon.
Here.
Trustee Raniszewski. Mayor Pico.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the July 18th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustee meeting of July 5th, 2022.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Accounts payable approval.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
I move to approve the accounts payable from July 19th, 2022 through August 1st, 2022 in the amount of $3,409,665.22.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
I abstain. I've got a business conflict with someone on the payable list.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Consent agenda.
Consent agenda. Item A, payroll approval. Item B, disposal of village equipment, online auction, Public Works Department ordinance. Item C, main pumping station facility improvement project, final approval.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to approve items A through C. Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Public hearing. Pete's Fresh Market request for modification from the building code as adopted and amended by the village code.
Do you have my thing here? So I will now open the public meeting. Notice of this public meeting has been given by publication of the Board of Trustees, and will consider granting a variance from the Village of Orland Park Building Code for the property described in the notice at 15080 South LaGrange Road. The board will consider a variance of section 507.2.1 of the International Building Code of 2018 incorporated into the Village Code of the Village of Orland Park at section 5-1-13, providing a mandatory setback of at least 40 feet for sprinklered one-story buildings of type 2B construction. And then we need to make a motion to open the meeting.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Milani.
move to open the public hearing.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to provide testimony or comment in the public hearing?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to close the hearing.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. The public hearing is closed.
Should I vote too?
So you make the motion to approve the
Trustee Healy.
modification?
What's that?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
Trustee Compass.
I move to approve the requested modification from the building code as adopted and amended by the village code to allow a reduction in the open space requirement for an unlimited area building from 40 feet with a 3-hour exterior wall to 30 feet with a 3-hour exterior wall for no more than 62 feet in length, where the proposed addition is limited by the dedication of former Ravinia Avenue right-of-way to the Orland Park Public Library, IBC 2018, section 507.2.1, and I move to adjourn the public hearing. Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Compass. I'm sorry. Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Motion is approved and the meeting is adjourned.
HPE server and storage cluster purchase.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
Move to approve the purchase with Insight Public Sector Incorporated through the Omnia Partners Cooperative Purchase Contract for IT products and services, number 4400006644, for the not-to-exceed amount of $30,824.13, and to authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pika.
Aye.
2022 sidewalk removal and replacement.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve awarding ITB 22/044, the 2022 sidewalk removal replacement to M&J Asphalt Company, or Paving Company of Cicero, Illinois, for an amount not to exceed $100,000, and to authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts, subject to the village attorney review.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
I abstain. I have a family member employed by the vendor.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pika.
Aye.
John Humphrey Ball Field lights repair.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
move to waive the bidding process for the John Humphrey Ballfield lights repairs and approve the proposal from Davecom Electric's proposal dated June 27, 2022 for additional repairs to wiring, ballasts, and bulbs for the cost not to exceed $24,956, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Questions or comments? So I'll make a quick comment because it was brought up to me in a meeting that I had, and I know that the school district board was given information about how poorly we redeveloped John Humphrey Complex because of the light situation. To be clear, when were these lights put in?
These were original to the park.
Yeah.
Original park, so 1988, 89?
82 is when they were building that.
Okay, right about the time I left.
Same.
So, yeah, so these things were built in the early 80s, and they were not built with the appropriate grounding in them, and fortunately, nothing serious happened in the last 40 years? But just something else that wasn't done correctly in the past, and then we're correcting it. So that's what this is about. And we are fortunate for 40 years that nothing bad happened there because they were not installed completely properly. So good thing that we found out, and we have immediately put something in place. But these were not part of the John Humphrey Complex improvements, and they will be part of the next phase of improvements is to completely redo those lights, as well as hopefully to redo the southern fields at some point once we get an agreement with the school board to do so.
Correct.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pika.
Aye.
Roof replacements at park pavilions and facilities, co-op proposals.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the use of the Omnia Partners National Intergovernmental Purchasing Alliance, NIPA, contract number 180903-305537, roofing products and services, and approve the proposal submitted for project scopes A, B, and C by Bennett and Brousseau Roofing, Inc., dated July 18, 2022, for a total amount not to exceed $521,908, and approve the proposal submitted by the project scope D by Alloy Architectural Solutions, dated July 18, 2022, for a total amount not to exceed $339,492, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
There was one more part to that.
And allow the village manager to approve change orders not to exceed the contingency amount.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pika.
Aye.
Pete's Fresh Market, resolution for modification from the building code as adopted and amended by the village code.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
move to adopt a resolution entitled, "A Resolution Approving an Appeal from the Provisions of the Orland Park Building Code Regarding Masonry, Pete's Fresh Market, 15080 South LaGrange Road."
Second.
Any questions or comments? So this applies to a lot of what we're passing in the next few, the next few motions. But basically, the building where Art Van is at is, there were things done when it was developed that weren't precisely within our code, and so we're cleaning those things up so that in the future, Pete's Fresh Market doesn't have to deal with those things. So we're just trying to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, which they were not properly done in the past for whatever reason. And then this particular instance, what we did is we had basically donated some land to the library that they included in their landscape plan, and because we donated it, it put us against the 30-foot buffer that we have. And so obviously, had we not donated it, there wouldn't be a problem. So we're just saying we're waiving that because it's all landscaping anyway, so it's not an actual building that's there. So that's all we're doing, is what we would have been able to do had we never donated the land to begin with. Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Pete's Fresh Market, development petition for a special use permit for commercial retail in excess of 50,000 gross square feet, and a special use permit for a site plan with a total building area greater than 50,000 gross square feet, with modifications from the Land Development Code, site plan, landscape plan, and elevations.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to approve the development petition for case number 2021-0469, also known as Pete's Fresh Market Additions and Renovation, as recommended by the Plan Commission and fully referenced below.
Second.
And again, this is part of those cleanups. We normally require a special use permit over 50,000, and for some reason that wasn't done previously, so we're just cleaning that up as part of tonight's meeting. Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Pete's Fresh Market, ordinance for a special use permit for commercial retail in excess of 50,000 gross square feet, and a special use permit for a site plan with a total building area greater than 50,000 gross square feet, with modifications from the Land Development Code.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
move to adopt an ordinance entitled, "Ordinance Granting a Special Use with Modifications for Commercial Retail Building Exceeding 50,000 gross square feet, and a special use for a site plan with a total building area greater than 50,000 gross square feet, Pete's Fresh Market, 15080 South LaGrange Road."
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. And Gene, if you'd like to come up and represent Pete's and just let us know when when it's going to open and all the exciting stuff we get to pass on to our residents.
My name's Eugene Jankovich with Pete's Market, and I'm the development construction side of the Pete's. We're very happy to be in Orland Park. We're very anxious to get going. Seems like, since COVID, everything's just been like taking forever.
Supply chains.
Economy, we're having some hurdles with equipment, obtaining our supplies that we need, but we're reaching out to different vendors, as far as even a couple in Germany, they have better lead times, so that's going to be helping us out. With this approval today and with the village's assistance, we're going to be starting our mass demolition. That's going to start pretty quickly, which we have permit on now. And then we're going to proceed with our construction to follow probably mid to late September. Grand opening, though, again, contingent on the materials coming in on time. Other problem we have is ComEd, transformers, long lead. We're working with our liaison and our corporate to help expedite that as well. With an anticipated grand opening sometime, it'll be late summer, fall of 23. That's what we're hoping to do.
Well, we're excited to have you here. I wish it would have been a little bit sooner, but we know everything that's going on. There's nothing that anyone can, whether it's supply chain or ComEd, it's just nonstop everything.
Sure.
So great. Well, we're looking forward to you coming to Orland Park.
Thank you very much. We look forward to being here.
Great.
For your help.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Strategic Retail Backfill Incentive Program.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the Strategic Retail Backfill Incentive Program, and I move to adopt the ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Providing for a Strategic Retail Backfill Incentive Program."
Second.
And just so everybody knows, we talked about this at the COW, but the reason for doing this is because large sites in Orland Park, large retail sites, are really tough to fill. We have just about every large retailer already here, and so we have a few vacancies right now. Clearly the one at Orland Park Place and Sears being two that jump out, and this gives staff the tool that they can use to help entice companies to come here for that without us having to have long negotiations, as we already have this in place. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. And I guess the other thing I should add about that too, this is a performance-based incentive, so we're sharing back sales tax that they generate. So nothing from nothing is nothing. So if they actually fill something and we're giving some of it back to help them come in, we're getting some sales tax and they're getting some relief, and we're getting someone in there to fill those spots.
10500 West 163rd Place, Class 6B Renewal Resolution.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
move to pass resolution number 1010, entitled, "A Resolution Determining the Necessity of and Benefit from Industrial Uses and Supporting Renewal of Class 6B status pursuant to the Cook County Real Property Classification Ordinance for certain real estate located at 10500 West 163rd Place in Orland Park, Illinois."
Second.
Any questions or comments? So that everyone knows what this is, there are a series of incentives allowed by Cook County if we approve it, and they approve it. And basically what that allows it is for commercial property to be assessed at a lower value. For those of you who don't know, commercial value in Cook County, commercial properties are assessed at a much higher rate, 2.5 to 3 times more than residential, whereas all other counties in the state it's the same. And so this allows these properties to be a little bit more competitive with the marketplace and allows companies to stay in those places. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect your property tax or anybody else's. It just allows them to be assessed at a slightly lower rate so that theirs are a little bit more affordable. Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Cello Cafe and Crepes, Special Use Ordinance 9009 151st Street.
Mr. Chair.
Trustee Malani? Or was it Trustee Compass?
Trustee Compass. I move to adopt an ordinance entitled, "Ordinance Granting a Special Use for a Restaurant with Outdoor Seating Within 300 Feet of a Residential Parcel, Cello Cafe and Crepes, 9009 West 151st Street."
Second.
Any questions or comments? So I think this is exactly what we're trying to do with is to get more outdoor patio spaces and things like that. So I think this is a good use, and so that's why I support this special use ordinance. Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
RFP response rejection, Flaherty and Collins.
Mr. Chairman.
Trustee Compass.
Move to reject the Flaherty and Collins response to the RFP without going through the entire master developer selection process regarding the response, based on the response only addressing 3 of the parcels covered by the RFP. Second.
Any questions or comments? So as part of the selection committee, I'll tell you why we pushed this forward to everyone. Part of the RFP was to actually give us a complete plan, which this did not. If you go back to the history of the triangle, in 2004 we passed a TIF and created a lot of dollars, and those of us who were around during that time, we used money to buy out businesses. Some of them got good deals, some others didn't get good deals. Then we forced some businesses out with the threat of eminent domain, but ultimately all the businesses weren't cleared to 2010, 2011 timeframe before all those businesses are gone, so you've lost 7 years of your TIF. A good TIF is a blighted area but you kind of have a plan when you walk in so that you start building right away, so you start to see that increment, and we did not have a plan. In fact, we wasted 7 or 8 years of the TIF just getting control of the properties, which is just, anyone who's handled TIFs would say that's a bad plan. And so that was bad to begin with. Then we ended up with Flaherty and Collins, where same thing, where they bid out for the entire thing and they only gave one property. But because there'd been nothing built in almost a decade, desperation from the board to build 295 units of apartments, which is not what anybody planned for that space. So it was always supposed to be a walkable area with shopping and all of that. And we ended up with apartments, which anyone here could tell you we could fill this place, Orland Park, with apartments tomorrow without any incentives. We don't do that because, you know, it's not part of our zoning or our plan or our vision, and we allow apartments in certain areas, but certainly not everywhere. So we ended up with that, and not only that, but as those of you who remember, it was a $65 million project, and taxpayers put up $64 million of it. That was desperation. It was desperation because of a poor planning and because of embarrassment of the fact that we had nothing. And now we basically put a massive apartment complex right on 143rd, which was against everything in the plan. The plan was nothing bigger than 2 stories along 143rd or LaGrange. So nothing, and so now it throws everything out of whack. Go forward a few years, and we end up with University of Chicago, and what I've learned is that they wanted to be in other locations as well that were where they would have had to pay for it, and the village undercut those locations to put a non-for-profit in a TIF. Well, the whole idea of a TIF is to generate property tax, and putting a non-for-profit is a bad plan. So we've had no plan to begin with. We went with someone who only gave one property as opposed to the entire property, and then we end up with a deal that was basically doesn't generate property tax and gave them a below market deal on everything else. So University of Chicago being here is great. They would have went somewhere else if not there. And again, we're landlocked, and now we have, 9 acres left, and we're trying to work around things without a plan. Well, that's what we put out to the marketplace, was work around what we have and build this plan. And they came back again, which they've done to us once before. I'm assuming they thought that this board would be duped like the last board was. And not only did they not submit for all of the properties, but what was the other thing that we said? No more than 45% residential. Well, to get to 45% residential with the commercial here, I think the apartments that they're talking about would have to be about 200 square feet each. I don't know exactly how that works. I mean, I've stayed, maybe in New York, I've stayed in a hotel room that small. I mean, there's just absolutely no way this works and so we weren't going to spend the selection committee's time to spend weeks looking at this and diving into this or negotiating or interviewing for something that's so blatantly not anywhere near with what we requested. So that's why we've put it in front of you to allow us to just move forward and evaluate the other plan. Any questions, comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pecon.
Aye.
Amend Title 7, Chapter 4, number of Class A liquor license ordinance.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
move to adopt an ordinance entitled an ordinance amending Title 7, Chapter 4 of the Orland Park Municipal Code regarding the available number of Class A5 liquor licenses issued by the Village of Orland Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pecon.
Aye.
An ordinance amending Title 7, Chapter 15 of the Orland Park Municipal Code regarding the available number of Class A and Class B tobacco licenses issued by the Village of Orland Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
move to adopt an ordinance entitled an ordinance amending Title 7, Chapter 15 of the Orland Park Municipal Code regarding the available number of Class A and B tobacco licenses issued by the Village of Orland Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pecon.
Aye.
Any non-scheduled citizens and visitors?
Have any non-scheduled citizens or visitors to speak?
Board comments.
Board comments, Trustee Compass.
So this past week, I had the pleasure of attending the Guard Games night for my second time as a trustee. This night celebrates the hard work and dedication of our lifeguards at the Centennial Park Aquatic Center, which I believe has been going strong for 31 years, right? This season, just for those that may not know, presented some unique challenges prior to beginning, as public pools all over the nation struggled to find adequate staffing to support their existing hours of service. I'm grateful that through some creative thinking and perseverance, our village and pool leadership found a way to stay fully open this year. It was especially wonderful given the high temperature days I know we got during the summer. I know the pool was very popular during those periods. I'd also like to thank our new aquatic manager, Anna Nasinska, I'm sorry for butchering that, for taking the lead this year of a continuously excellent program. I know there's a lot to learn while managing several new team leads this year as well. I'm also very grateful, especially to our veteran lifeguards that returned this season. I wish I could name all of you, but please know that the way in which each of you stepped up in order to help train a larger group of rookies this year made a very huge difference. It was a difference in keeping our park open. We started the season with a successful save, which we celebrated here, which was spotted by an alert rookie lifeguard. So that happened because of the care and dedication from pool leadership and veteran lifeguards like you. So thank you all, and good luck on finishing the season strong with a 5-star rating. Shifting gears, I'd also like to acknowledge a public servant that recently retired, George McLaughlin. George retired last Friday from the Utilities Division of Public Works after 29 years of service to the village. George will be missed as a key factor in maintaining village operations, as well as his team spirit and fellowship with his coworkers. Thank you, George, and I wish you the best in your new retirement adventure. Thank you.
Trustee Reardon.
Thank you. Hope to see everybody out at Taste of Orland this week. I say the fencing is all being put up. It looks like a decent week, a little warm, but hopefully we see people out there. And then there's a couple of concerts coming up as well, the concert series, so hope to see everyone there as well. Enjoy the last couple weeks of summer before all the kids go back to school, and we're talking about a terrible Bears football team. Thanks.
Trustee Malani.
Oh, thank you. Tomorrow evening, from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, the Orland Park Police Department will join all of our law enforcement agencies across the country hosting the village's annual National Night Out celebration right out front here at the Orland Park Village Center. This year's event is sponsored in part by Mazda of Orland Park. Hopefully everybody will come out and see the vendors and get a chance to talk to our law enforcement professionals here in Orland Park. Also looking forward to seeing everybody at Taste of Orland, which starts at Friday at 5 o'clock and goes through Sunday evening at 9 o'clock. And you can see our website for more details about the schedule for all of the events this weekend. We recently received a letter was in regards to summer day camp, and I wanted to share this with somebody because this is with everybody, because this is another example of, great things you hear that you sometimes you just take things for granted. You drop your kids off at day camp and people go in there and you pick up your kids and everything, you just go about your day. But this kind of caught me a little bit. I have a son and daughter who are attending day camp for the first time this year. My kids absolutely love it. My son is in Voyagers and my daughter is in Buddies, which is different groups. And they're also in Pals. And I have them in both of the sessions. It's our first year doing camp, and we've been in daycare since the kids were little, and it's been amazing. I want to send a huge thank you to Andrea, Madeline, Rachel, and Megan, and their incredible team of counselors. I can't imagine the coordination that goes on into making every day so fun. I love dropping off the kids with a smile on their faces as they come home with the same smile, maybe even a bit bigger of a smile. It absolutely melts my heart. Day camp has a great reputation. When we were trying to figure out what to do, I asked neighbors about camp, and every family had rave reviews. And a special shout out to Andrea. I bugged her for months before camp with questions, and I continue to ask her questions today. Andrea is so patient and understanding. Thanks to everyone at day camp for making our summer so enjoyable. And I share that because, once again, it's great to hear from our residents about our staff doing great things. And, as Mayor Peacock has mentioned many times, it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and to make a family that comfortable and that happy with bringing their kids here to day camp, I think that just speaks volumes for the things that our staff does here. So I want to thank you all for everything you do. Thank you.
Trustee Healy?
I appreciate the positive comments that everybody's given so far, but as a,
Change it up.
Here we go. Might as well mix it up a bit.
but as a local curmudgeon, I would like to say something positive myself. I'd like to congratulate all the thugs, deviants, murderers, robbers, and other criminals out there. Over the weekend, with the Wall Street Journal published an article by George Soros where he states that he does not intend on stopping his funding of these renegade district attorneys across the country. As a reminder, Kim Foxx was elected with the majority of funding by the labor unions and this George Soros to be there. That's why we have the crime that we have. Over the week, a couple days ago, I saw an article in the on the news where some shooting happened outside Chicago, and I interviewed one lady. She said she just went down to her basement and waited for it to all go away. I think that's what people are doing. We have to stand up to this crime that's out there. And with this development that George Soros is going to continue his funding, that this development increases the odds that this criminal stuff will just keep continuing unless people stand up. So I hope people can stand up against the crime coming up. Thanks.
Trustee Katsinas.
To Trustee Reardon's about the Chicago Bears, I think that might be getting a whole lot better with Orland Park native Mike Schofield.
Good point, yeah.
Mike's father is the chief of the fire district, does an outstanding job, and he has to be awful proud. I know this village board is of him, and I'm sure the fire district is as well. And one of the cool things about being on this board is you come up with ideas sometimes. And I had an idea that I ran off of George, our village manager, and that was about Pete's Market. Pete's Market is a wonderful store. They have many locations, but I happen to frequent the one in Lamont when I don't shop in Orland. Made an email to George and had a conversation, and our village manager, George, set the wheels in motion that got Pete's here tonight. So not only you, but the department heads and your support staff. So I want to publicly thank you, George, for that. Now, on that note, also Night Out Against Crime. And hope everyone shows up 5 to 8 tomorrow evening, right in front of the village hall here. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And yeah, I was going to mention that Mike Schofield is one of our own, an Orland Park native, came through the Pioneers, went through Sandburg, is going to be playing for the Chicago Bears. I will make I will tell you, Cindy, that unfortunately one starting offensive guard, while it will protect our quarterback to keep him from getting killed, I don't think it's going to make us really good. I think we have a lot more players since there's 45 on the roster and 22 starters. I think we need a little bit more help. But hey, we're all eternal optimists. They're a playoff bound team until at least week 8. So I'm sorry, Ray, that I missed the guard games. I was out of town at the time, so I apologize, but I appreciate and hope the staff had a great time, and I know what great work you've done, as pointed out, that saved a life this year, and because of the work that you and your team do. As the entire staff, everything that we're doing, I mean, we have, Public Works is has been dealing with a strike that has slowed down a bunch of our projects, and hopefully they'll all get back on track and still be able to get done, because the strike didn't last too long, but they're scrambling. So I know that your team's scrambling to get that stuff done, which is great. And Development Services has been swamped with requests, not to mention a difficult time filling some positions, so it's made it challenging. And obviously, that's important for us to have development, so that's great. The finance department has its challenges with getting an ERP system put in, which hopefully is making things better. I haven't heard, knock on wood, any big blow-ups on the ERP installation, so that should help. And now we're entering budget season, so you're going to be crazy busy. And all this is, there's a backbone on all this with IT and HR. And which is important for staffing and important for us to have all the technology that we have. And lest I forget, police department, you guys always get shout outs anyways, but the great job that you always do and continue to do this weekend, and where everybody else is, unfortunately, our state's attorney is letting criminals run free. We're actually pulling them off the streets proactively. And I know there's been a lot of stuff said, oh, there's criminals in the street. Yeah, there are. They're in every town. They're in every town in the suburbs. They're in the city. We're getting them off the streets before they commit crimes here. And that's very taxing for our police department. I don't think anyone here has ever heard me say, so you've heard me say repeatedly, we have the lowest crime in 27 years, and we're the eighth safest small city in the U.S., and that's true. And that's true because of the hard work of the police department, getting people off the streets before they commit those crimes. It was a hell of a lot easier to do that 20 years ago than it is today. And the operations tempo for them is very, very high, so as it is for all of our departments. So thank you all. Coming up, we do have National Night Out tomorrow night. I will not be there, so express my gratitude to the troops that are out there. And then Taste of Orland this weekend, including our veterans event at 7 p.m. on Saturday, so please come out. We will be honoring a World War II veteran, and there's not that many of them left, so please come out and enjoy that. Plus, you'll get to hear some great music and get some great food from Orland Park restaurants. How many do we have this year? So we're back up. Last year we were down to 10 because of COVID and all that, and we're back up, and still not back up to our full contingent, largely because of staffing problems, but it's starting to increase again. So please come out and enjoy the weekend. Then we have concerts on the 20th and on the 3rd at Centennial Park West, which should be great. And we just had a discussion this year. Part of the budget for next year is, since we're going to be doing construction over there, and we will probably move those concerts to the parking lot like we did when we had rain, charging while we're under construction. And then in 2 years, we'll have a brand new facility out there that we can enjoy. Brewfest on September 17th, which is always a big hit, and I think the new location down at Public Works is great, and it's a lot better than the tent. It's hard for Joel though, because everybody has to move everything. But it was a great event last year, being inside there. And then the last markets in the park are this month as well, so please come out for that. A lot going on at the end of summer, like there always is, so that you can come out and enjoy it. And these are the reason we live through all the crappy weather in the winter is for the weather we have during the summer. So go out and enjoy it. And especially now that the kids are back in school and you're back here and you're not traveling to Michigan or Wisconsin or somewhere else, there's a lot to do here in Orland Park. So take advantage of it. We live in a great community and we have great staff and we put together some great events. So please come out and enjoy it. With that, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman.
Trustee Compass.
Move to go into executive session for A, approval of minutes, B, pending litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the village, or when found by the board that such action is probable or imminent.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Peacock.
Aye. Go into executive session.